Welcome back to my channel, BeYouBoo. My name is Tsnatee, and in this video, I am outside. I thought, let me just come outside in order for us to really have that scenery because a lot of people are not able to go outside. So I thought, let me just film this in order for us to really open up, to have that calm scenery, that open environment for us to also be open and talk about this story that I have to tell about societal pressure that I feel to succeed. So I have this little setup that I have right there. So I'm just going to sit there and talk to you guys about my struggles. Now, I hope that a lot of people are not going to walk by because this is right in the middle of the city and they just built this little park in the middle of the city. So a lot of people come here to walk their dogs. But let's try this out. Now, if you are new to this channel and you just clicked on this video and you think, who is this girl? Let me just give you a short introduction about me so you can really understand what type of person I am or why I think like that. So I am originally from Curacao. It is actually in the Dutch Caribbean. And when I was 18, I moved to the Netherlands to come study business here. And I stayed here. I've been here for 10 years already. And I'm working now in a corporate male-dominated company, which is in the IT industry. I gave you that short introduction just for you to understand the different pressures that I might feel coming from an island and being different than the rest. Now in this video, I will talk about societal pressures I feel in order to succeed and really how I cope with it every day in order for me to really live my best life. So let's just dive into my story. The first thing that I realized, I think it started happening 2 years ago when I started telling myself I'm not happy with where I am. I feel like I really should have achieved more. I should have a higher salary, a better car, whatever it is. I was just not happy with where I was. And at that moment, I realized that it was probably because of societal pressures that I had put on myself or pressures that were coming from outside that I was sensing. Now, I categorized 5 different pressures that I was feeling or I am still feeling. Let me know if you are feeling the same ones so we could really talk about that. But the first pressure is the pressure to be successful in my career. Now, I know that a lot of people cope with this one, and this is a hard one because we constantly keep looking around us and think, okay, I do not have the job that I want, or I'm not satisfied with the salary that they have given me, or I should be higher up in the organization. And listen, I have been there. I have been complaining about this in my mind, never saying it out loud. But if you really think that you should be having a different job, then move to the job that you want. Do what you want to do. And this is definitely a tip that I had to give to myself also. I love the job that I was in, but I really wanted to do something more creative. So I continued to stay in the job that I am because I am happy with what I'm doing. But on the other hand, I started doing more of the creative side, which is creating videos. And let me tell you, I've been getting a lot of opportunities within my organization to continue combining what I am doing as an account manager, but also a lot with video content. So right now, I am a brand ambassador for the organization. I already create a lot of videos for them. So if you could combine whatever you would like to do with the job you're doing, then that's great. But if you think, hey, I need a better job or not happy with the right one, the best thing is one, to move to the thing that you want to do or to be happy with what you already have, because a lot of people around you do not have that opportunity, and definitely not right now. Now, the second pressure that I feel is the pressure to be successful in my personal life. And I'm telling you, coming from a Caribbean family, listen, my aunts and uncles are all the ones asking me, when are you starting to have that family? When are you going to have some kids? Do you have a boyfriend? And this is probably something that a lot of women are also here, and even men. And to be really honest, I get tired of that question. So the main thing that I do is to really tell them that really things are happening at my own pace and everything will come whenever they need to come. So what I did is, instead of thinking about what the other ones think that I need to do in my personal life, I wrote down whatever I want in a relationship, what I want in a husband, what I want in my family. I wrote down in my journal what time I think I would be ready for that. And listen, sometimes we don't even need a man or a woman to, you know, procreate anymore. So don't put that burden on yourself that others are putting on you. Be happy with where you are at, and everything will go on your own pace, because that reminder that they keep giving you, you have that on your own. I'm telling you, I have that right now, and I know that my clock is ticking, but you don't need to remind me. So let's just live in our on our own pace and be happy with where we are right now. Now, the third one is the pressure to be seen as a role model. Again, coming from the Caribbean. Now, again, coming from the Caribbean, I felt a lot of pressure because I felt that my parents or my family didn't have the same opportunity as me to move to the Netherlands or move to England or work in a corporate company. So they are extremely proud of me when I come back. But on the other side, I do feel a lot of pressure to be seen as a role model, which is a pressure that I've probably put on myself. But how I cope with that is to really tell them how I might be struggling also, and I don't have that picture perfect life that people think that I might have. And this is really normal because we're all human, we all make mistakes, and I just try to share my mistakes with other people in order for them to not make the mistakes that I have made in my life. So if you feel like people always see you as that picture perfect person, then please just share with them who you are. And if you can relate with the pressure to be seen as the first or the role model, then let me know, because I'm sure that I'm not the only one that can relate with this, because this is definitely something that a lot of different cultures also have, you know, that pressure to be successful. And then after that, when you've succeeded a little bit of that, then they'll start seeing you as that role model. And I'm telling you, I am extremely grateful that my family sees me that way. However, I do feel that pressure because I feel like I'm constantly overachieving and becoming more of a perfectionist in order to make them as happy as they are right now. The next pressure is the pressure to fit in. This is one that I was coping with a lot because I feel like I was so different from the rest when I came from the Caribbean. I felt like people do not need to see that I was different. I had to change myself a whole different way in order for me to assimilate or fit into the organization or fit into a group. I always sensed that I was always the different one. I was always that quirky, fun, always made a lot of jokes, and I felt like I had to be more serious at my job. I had to change myself completely in order for my customers and people in the organization to value and respect me. And to some extent, it was necessary because you have to be seen as a more authoritative. But on the other hand, I realized that I changed myself so much that I wasn't myself anymore. So the moment I let that pressure go, I realized that people connected with me more because I was being myself instead of being someone that I wasn't. Like, to be really honest, I didn't know anything about IT when I jumped into this industry. I didn't know what a motherboard was, a server. I didn't know what was exactly in a computer. Like, didn't know. So I'll tell you about how I came into this industry because that's a whole other story. But when I came here, I was like, oh my God, I have to fit in. I have to know how the computer works, how the server works. I started doing a lot of research. I was up all night trying to compete with the other ones in my team in order to be seen as more capable and being smarter. At a certain moment in time, I totally lost myself because I was doing too much. I was doing absolutely too much to fit in. And to be really honest, as a female or as a black female in an organization, I already felt the pressure to fit in, which is also a whole other story. But the pressure to fit in, knowing that I was absolutely new to the organization, new to IT, jumped into a team with 13 men, white men, I felt like I had that extra pressure to really show them that I know what I'm talking about. And definitely when people tell me like, are you sure you know what you do? I feel the extra need to, surprise them with my wits and how well I know something. So I definitely felt that pressure to fit in and to not be seen as someone that does not know what she is talking about. So you might ask yourself how I was coping with that and how I got rid of it. Well, I never will get rid of it. I always will feel that pressure. And I came up with a mantra in order for me to release that. I look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself, I am not perfect, but I'm perfectly myself. I will inspire and achieve everything I set my mind to because I know that I am brave, smart, and I am strong. So if you can create your own mantra and say that to yourself, I'm telling you that is going to help you a lot. Now, the fifth pressure that I also feel is the pressure to match others. Now, this is the one that we do a lot. We open up magazines or we look on Facebook and we see, hey, that person got something that I didn't expect that they would have achieved. Or, whoa, my classmate already has a family. I'm telling you, I am guilty of this. This is something I do daily. But it is unnecessary because if we are looking at other people, this shouldn't be something that is demotivating us or putting us in a slump, but this is something that we should see as a motivation in order to continue to find our own way. And I'm telling you, everything will happen for us when we want it to happen. So in order for us to achieve that, we can visualize, write it all down, think about what we want to achieve, and then really put our mind to it, strategize how we think we can achieve this. And I'm telling you, this will definitely happen because I have so many things that I already have lined up for this year that I wrote down on my list. Like, for example, I had the opportunity to be a speaker at a digital conference, which I didn't even think that people would want to hear from me. That gave me a lot of energy to want to become a speaker for more events or for online events because I realized that I love to motivate, I love to talk, and I love to inspire people, and that gives me a lot of energy. So these pressures that I talked to you about today are pressures that, you know, can sometimes put you in a slump, but they should actually motivate us and push us to become the better version of ourselves. And really, I would like to end this video by just thanking you for staying with me till the end, for really listening to what I have to say. And I hope that if you are coping with the same thing, that you can let it all go and just be the best version of yourself and continue to just be you, boo. I will see you in another video. Bye.